Hello, thanks for tuning in. This is Cheryl from Cards by Cheryl, and I'm trying to teach myself how to do videos. I'm self-taught on just about everything that I know, and I got a little bit of a crafty haul today, and so I thought I would start out with a little video on what I received, and then also a quick tutorial on how to change out some of the nibs of my Copic markers that I'll explain in a minute. So, I'm a huge YouTube fan and I watch all the crafty videos, and I saw yesterday Jennifer McGuire's clip on the Tailored Expressions sentiment strips. It wasn't yesterday, it was a couple days ago, but holy crap, the shipping is so fast. Tailored Expressions, literally it took them 2 days for it to get here. And I want to say it was free shipping because I spent over $75, but anyway, holy smokes, really good service. So I was impressed with these sentiment strips because I'm always struggling with flipping through all of my stamps and trying to find just the right thing to say, and I was impressed with how the variety of these two sets were in terms of, you know, Let Your Light Shine or Happy Anniversary, or there was just really a broad selection of different sentiments that would fit nicely and pop, you know, out cute on your card, whatever. So I hadn't seen them before. I fell in love with them and I had to have both of them. So this is what I got. And you have to also buy the coordinating die. You don't have to, but I wanted to, because what I like to do with my stamps when I get them is I will open them up and I will ink them up and then stamp them out, and then I will die cut them if they have coordinating dies to go with them, and then I tuck them in the sleeve of my stamp pocket. So for example, here's one from Lawn Fawn. It's well used, but you can see here that I've got all kinds of remnants of past stamping, and it just makes it super easy for me to, when I'm designing, to pull it out and just dump everything out on my desk and go, oh yeah, here I can put this together this way or that way. So that's kind of my process when I get something new. Is I like to ink them up, stamp them up, and then I die cut them out. So I did buy the die cut for this. And then the strips are just like super handy and ready to go when you need them. And sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I'm in a huge hurry to get a card made. And they made this so stinking easy to line up. Look at that. You see this? The little squares here with the strips. It's awesome. So I love these sets, and I'm sure I'm going to put them to a ton of use. Again, Tailored Expressions. There's that, there's this, and then as I was flipping through, I saw this stamp set, and I couldn't resist it because I'm a sucker for watercolors. And I had lots of ideas of, you know, you could use this as a background stamp, or even as a focal stamp, throw some splashes of color on it. You could use it black and white, you know, emboss it with white ink on a black cardstock would be super fun. So I had to have that. Let's see. The next thing is by the way, cheers. If it's after 5 o'clock, you usually find me drinking wine, minus the cork in my glass. And I just enjoy it. I find that I get a little bit more creative and crafty. Tonight's blend is Chateau Saint Michelle, Indian Wells. This is from Costco, so it's not expensive by any means. I think it was like $9 a bottle. But cheers. Here's to evening crafting. Okay, so I last year was in a panic because I ran out of red cardstock at Christmas time, and holy smokes, you cannot find red cardstock anywhere around the months of October, November, December. You just, like, everybody's out of it. So I didn't want that to happen again this year, so I bought 2 different flavors. This one is called red pepper, and this one is called cherry pop. And I like these because they're 100 pounds. The 80 pound for me is just too flimsy, especially when you use them for card bases. So this is a really pretty red, I think. Nice and sturdy, like that. And then this one, cherry pop, is a little bit brighter red. There's almost no difference. actually, when I'm looking at these, you could almost interchange these. Let me see. One is definitely darker, so I shouldn't say you'd be able to interchange them because you can't, but I like them both. This is a little bit more cranberry, and this is more traditional red. So I got those. And then on a whim, this isn't exactly the color I thought it was going to be when I bought it. It's called Spearmint, but I thought it would be fun for a holiday themed card, maybe with like some winter backgrounds or snow or winter mittens, you know, hats and gloves, coffee cups, that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd give that a try. So that's that, Spearmint. Again, 100 pound. The last thing I got did not come from Tailored. Oh, wait, I want to show you this. They sent this as a free gift, which I thought was super cute. And it's a little thanks die. Oops. Oh, upside down. But little thanks die. And I die cut it for you so you can see. If you leave the words in it, it looks like that. And if you take the words out, it looks like that. And that was sent for free for being a great customer. So I thought that was nice too. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I like it. Okay, getting that zoom thing in. The next thing I wanted to show you was about my Copic markers. And I found these guys at the Dick Blick Art Supply. I found they're carried a couple other places, but you can't find them everywhere. And you notice there's something special about these. There's a metal clip on the end of them. Oh, look how many I bought. I dumped them all out of the pack. They come in a pack of 3, and I dumped them all out and put them in this little jar so I could have them readily available. And I'll tell you why. So years ago, when I got into stamping and coloring, my husband, dear sweet soul, bought me 2 sets of the Copic, the big huge 72 pack Copic markers. And at the time, I didn't know there was a difference between Copic Sketch and Copic Classic. And so if you're like me and don't know also, I'll show you the difference. So this is a Copic Sketch marker, and it's got the oblong barrel. And on this end is the wide tip. And on this end is the brush tip. But the markers that I got were the classic, Copic Classics. And there's a square barrel. So on one end is the same chunky fat nib. And then on the other end is called the bullet nib. And the bullet nib is great, but it's not like the brush nib by any means. So here I'm fussing for a piece of paper to show you. So there's the bullet nib, and then if you look at one that has the brush nib, but yet you can still do fine lines with it. So I have a lot of Copic markers, and most of them, unfortunately, are the square nib ones. So I decided that rather than replacing my square nib markers because what I started to do was I started just buying new ones of the sketch markers. Even though I had, like, for example, let's say RVO2 is square, even though I already have this color, I would buy it again in the sketch style just so I could have the brush nib. Well, you guys know they're expensive, right? They're like $6-7 a piece depending on where you go. And what I learned is that you can use these babies and replace out. So for example, what I do is I'll show you one that I've already done it on. For example, this one. So I have marked this marker with this blue washi tape on it, which means I have already traded out the nib on this particular marker for the brush nib. So see, there it is. Even though it's a square one, you can put this nib inside this marker. And you can keep the bullet nib for doing fine work if you want. And then I toss the chunky wide nib. So let me show you how I do that. Basically, I just do that. I have this tool. I have it handy right here. So I have this tool that pulls out just like that. Drop that on the ground. Take one of these things, and there's this. I don't know if you can see. There's a square. Oh, get it right. Kind of. There's flat edges inside here. It's hard to see on camera. So you just line this up with the flat edge, and you push it in. Push it in, Cheryl. There you go. Push it in. And put the cap on. Put it upside down for a second. And then what I do is, what did I do with my washi tape? There it is. I just take a piece of tape. And I put it around the end with no gray, because the gray means it's the bullet nib, and this means it's the chisel nib. And I've changed it out, so I put this on the end of the chisel nib, which tells me that I've modified this marker. So some people use washi tape to say that it's their pen, like when they go to crafting sessions, whatever, they want to make sure their pens don't get mixed up with other people's pens, and so they put washi tape on them. But the washi tape on my pens is because I've done this. And so you can see the ink starting to come in. There we go. See, now it's all the way. Now I have the brush nib on this RVO2 marker. So that's my second batch. There's I throw these away, by the way. I don't need them. So this is I emailed scrapbook.com or scrapbookpal.com and said, hey, I'm really looking for some bulk pricing on these guys because they're not cheap. They're I think at Dick Blick I got them for $5.59, but I think on Simon's Stamp and some of the other places they're $6 or $7 for a pack of 3, and it's a lot of money. I won't say it's not, but here it is. But it's cheaper than buying all brand new markers. So here there's 45 in here. I already bought a pack of. I already had 30, so I've done 30 or 40 or so markers already, and I've got about 45 more to go that I'm going to trade out my nibs for and have the brush end on each of them. So that's kind of my weekend project. But there you have it. That's my crafty haul. I've got some other stuff in the works that I'm thinking about doing, and I did a video the other night showcasing this card right here, which I absolutely love, but when I got done filming I realized it was in portrait, not landscape mode, and so the quality of the film is really bad. So I'm going to redo the sky and show you guys how fun to make this is. And you can do it in like a big batch. Like in September I have a ton of birthdays, so all my friends got busy in January because there's a lot of September birthdays, and I need to make like 10. So I was going to do a batch of these, and I thought I'd show you guys how to do these in bulk, because if you cut out the pieces, they're super fast and super fun to make up. And how cute is that? I just love these. These are by Concord Knife. Anyway, video coming on this soon. So cheers. Hope everybody's having a great Friday night, and I will talk to you soon.